The only way you would ever see this thing is with a flashlight.
Oh. I was like, am I gonna get jump scared? Kind of. Yeah, look at that. Freaking creepy. What is up, you guys? I'm Charmx. Today I'm gonna be reacting to "The Ocean is Way Deeper Than You Think" by Real Life Lore. Now, I'm pretty sure the ocean, like the Marianas Trench or the Marianas Trench, is as deep as, like, isn't it as deep as Mount Everest if Mount Everest was turned upside down in the ocean? I think that's how deep it is. Something like that. It's really freaking deep. But, you know, besides that, I don't know what we're getting into here, but I know a lot of creepy things are down in the depths. So maybe we get to see some creepy animals in this. I hope so. Because although they're creepy, they're kind of cool. Anyway, with that being said, the original link's in the description. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Real Life Lore. Without any further ado, let's begin.
The ocean is really deep. Deeper, in fact, than most of us realize. If you were to shave off all of the land from the tops of every continent and island in the world and fill...
Wait. Shave off... What?
If you were to shave off all of the land from the tops of every continent and island in the world and fill up the ocean's deepest points with that land, then the entire Earth would be covered in an ocean 2 miles deep. 3/4...
Oh, okay, I get it. So if you were to, it's basically if you were to like even it out, right? You take off the high land, put it down there. Okay, I think I got a hold of what she's trying to say. Man, it's gonna be a rough video if my brain's not working this well.
Earths of our planet is already covered in water, though, and it goes a lot deeper than just 2 miles. Let's start with a sense of scale. This dot right here is the size of an average human. This slightly larger dot is the size of an elephant, and this is the size of the largest ship ever built, the Knock Nevis. With that in mind, let's start going underwater and see what we find out. The first milestone is at 40 meters below the surface, which is the maximum depth allowed for recreational scuba diving. A little further down at 93 meters is
what is that in feet?
Where the wreck of the Lusitania was discovered. Just slightly deeper than that at 100 meters is where diving can become seriously fatal if you're not careful because of decompression sickness. But that didn't stop a man named Herbert Nitsch to accomplish the free diving world record at a depth of 214 meters. This guy swam down to this level with just one single breath. But a little...
One single breath? How long would that take you to get down and then get back up? Like, you'd think by that... Like, you'd have to have some crazy lungs to hold your breath that long. I don't know how you could do that.
A little further down at 332 meters, we have the scuba diving world record, which was accomplished by another man named Ahmed Gabir. If he had swam down another 111 meters, then he would have reached the height of the Empire State Building if it was submerged underwater. And a little further than that at 500 meters...
It's pretty freaking deep.
Below the surface, we arrive at the maximum dive depth of blue whales, the largest creatures on the planet and also the limit of the U.S. Seawolf-class nuclear submarine. At 535 meters, we can witness the maximum dive depth of emperor penguins, and this is when we
Penguins go that deep? That's like 1,500 feet.
Must bring up the intensity of water pressure. At this level below the surface, the water pressure exerted on a person, or the penguins, would be roughly equivalent to a polar bear standing on a quarter. So further down the depths, at 830 meters, would be the height of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the tallest building in the world. Once we hit 1,000 meters below the surface, we begin to enter the scary zone.
Oh boy, this is where the fun starts. The scary zone. This is where all the... I think as soon as you get to the point where all the lights, like the light doesn't travel that far into the water, that's when all the weird creatures are around. This is the cool stuff.
From the surface can no longer reach beyond this point, so the rest of the ocean below is shrouded in permanent darkness. On top of that, the water pressure you would experience at this point would be about the same as if you were standing on the surface of the planet Venus, meaning that you would die very quickly. You would also meet the giant squid at this sea level if the water pressure didn't already kill you. At 1,280 meters, we reach the maximum depth dived to by the leatherback.
I thought light couldn't get down here. This is freaking pretty bright if you ask me. Also, where's all the weird creatures? This is a freaking turtle. This is not what I expected.
Sea turtle, and further down at 1,828 meters we would reach the deepest part of the Grand Canyon were it to be underwater with us. Down at 2,000 meters we start to encounter some of the more terrifying sea creatures.
Oh, here we go. This is the good stuff.
crabs, like the ominously named black dragonfish, a carnivorous beast with a stomach that doesn't allow light to be emitted through it. Meaning that since we're in total darkness underwater at this point, the only way you would ever see this thing is with a flashlight.
Oh. I was like, am I gonna get jump scared? Kind of. Yeah, look at that. Freaking creepy.
A little further down, at 2,250 meters, we would reach the maximum depth dived to by both sperm whales and the very frightening colossal squid. Sperm whales often have sucker marks and scars left on their bodies from battles with the colossal squid that likely take place at these incredible depths. The squids themselves can grow.
Why would they go down that deep if they know they got enemies down there? Just, you know, go a little bit higher and avoid them, right?
To be 14 meters long and weigh up to 750 kilograms with eyes the size of a dinner plate and razor-sharp sickles in the middle of their tentacles. Further down at 3,800 meters we can find the wreck of the RMS Titanic, and a bit past that at 4,000 meters we start to enter the abyssal zone of the ocean. And there are numerous strange, almost alien-like creatures that inhabit these depths, such as the fangtooth, anglerfish, and viperfish.
See, this is what I mean. Look, it's so freaking bizarre. Look at this. But it's also kind of cool at the same time.
Down at 4,267 meters is the average depth of the ocean where you would normally expect to hit the floor, but there are parts of the ocean that go significantly deeper than even this. Way down at 6,000 meters is the beginning of the Hadal Zone, named after the underworld Hades itself. The water pressure down at these depths can become 1,100 times what you would experience way back on top at the surface, which is roughly equal to an elephant balancing on a postage stamp, or a single person carrying the weight of 50 Boeing 747 jumbo jets.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that you're not going to be able to survive if you were to go down there.
Down at these depths, you would be crushed immediately without any outside protection, but life still exists.
Well, would you look at that? I was right.
Down here in various strange forms. At 6,500 meters, we reach the maximum depth that the DSV Alvin can dive to, a popular research submarine that helped to discover the Titanic. Way further down at 8,000...
Where did all the weird jellyfish come out? Because I know they have a lot of weird jellyfish where they're all like, oh, they got crazy like colors and stuff on them. They do some weird stuff. And I know they're in the dark area, right? But where are they? Because I don't know exactly where. And, you know, I would hope you would at least mention them at some point in this.
848 meters below the surface, and we have arrived at the height of Mount Everest.
Okay, there's Mount Everest. It's not as... Okay, I was expecting it to be the, you know, the deepest, but I guess it's not.
Upside down and placed underwater. And then, way further past even that, at 10,898 meters, we arrive at the depth reached by James Cameron in 2012 during the Deep Sea Challenger mission. The deepest point in the ocean yet reached by humans was back in 1960, though, when two men named Don Walsh and...
1960? How could people back then, you know, get deeper than us? Because, you know, way back then they didn't have the technology we have now.
Jacques Piccard reached a depth of 10,916 meters using their Trieste submarine. It took them 5 hours to descend through the ocean to this depth, and they only stayed for 20 minutes before a window cracked and they began to resurface. Just a bit further down from there...
How did they do that? This was back in 1960. This is a long friggin' time ago. This is what, 50 some years ago? How did they do that? But we couldn't even get that deep in 2012.
We're at 10,972 meters, and we reached the average flight altitude of a commercial airliner. Finally, when we hit 10,994 meters, we have hit the bottom of the known ocean, called the Challenger Deep, right here on this map, just about 300 kilometers southwest of Guam Island. However, it is believed that there are almost certainly even deeper parts of the ocean than this that just haven't been discovered yet.
I hope we get to discover them someday, because I think that'd be crazy seeing how deep they could go. You know, potentially. And also, like, who knows what kind of fish and animals are down there, right? Because I think only, like, 10% of the ocean's been discovered. Something like that. It's a really small amount. So there's an entire insane amount that has not been discovered yet. And that's, I think it'd be interesting to see what's, you know, what's there.
It wasn't until 1997, after all, that the Sirena Deep was discovered with a depth of 10,732 meters, making it the second deepest known point in the ocean. It is estimated that only about 5% of the ocean's floor
5% has been explored. Okay, I thought it was like 10%.
Has been accurately mapped, leaving the other 95% to be currently a mystery. It may be only a matter of time before an even deeper part of our ocean is found, and who knows what we may discover there.
That's crazy, that's crazy. I would love to know how deep it could go. Could you imagine if all the oceans dried up? Like, this is not a good scenario, but, you know, if they did. Could you imagine what it would look like? Just how deep and how far it could go down. It'd be like the Grand Canyon, but like everywhere. That'd be something to see. Anyway, I hope you guys like this video. This is awesome. I'm sad I didn't get to see the jellyfish because for those of you who don't know, there's some crazy weird looking jellyfish really down deep. And I was kind of hoping that I'd see them in this because I think they're really cool, but we didn't get to see them. But nonetheless, I like this and I hope you did too. And if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, possibly share with a friend. If you're new, subscribe to the family. Also, make sure you guys go subscribe to Real Life Lore. And with that being said, see you guys next time. Boop!